Hi, this is Jeffrey Kerr Financial Group. Today is Monday, June 2, 2025. And we start a new month, hopefully a new weather pattern too. It's been awfully cold and rainy in the Northeast. So I want to start with reviewing last week real quickly. Stocks were largely up. Last week the Dow was up about 1.5%. S&P up a little less than 2%, NASDAQ up 2%, and the Russell up 1.25%. So what that means year to date, Dow's still down year to date, a little less than 1%. The S&P is up about 0.5%. The NASDAQ's down 1% year to date. Russell down 7.75% year to date. So the small cap still lagging. Next. Take a look at some of the news that's going on, especially over the weekend, and try to put it in perspective of I think what's going on with the various markets. So over the weekend, Ukraine bombed Russia. Pretty hard hitting surprise attack, and so that ratchets up the tensions between them, as well as across the world with all of the fighting and wars going on. Secondly, I think another important thing is, the trade talks with China are deteriorating. So, again, those are two of the big things. Trust me, as you know, there's a lot of other stuff going on, but those two things on itself, I'm shocked that the markets aren't down more. I'm doing this around midday on Monday, and the Dow's down a little bit, but the S&P, NASDAQ, Russell are kind of flattish. And with these kind of news items, it ends up being, I think, somewhat a positive surprise that we're not down more. Now, maybe it could be a delayed reaction, and we'll see something else. But again, maybe another item hits tonight or tomorrow or Wednesday, whatever, and it triggers a sell-off. But somewhat, I think that's somewhat of a positive. You get all this kind of bad news, and the markets are kind of holding together. Looking at some other markets, I think it's important to this morning. Gold's up 2.5% for the day. Again, I think on the geopolitical tensions that are rising. Oil up 3.5%. With Russia maybe cutting off oil supplies globally. Silver's up 4.5%. Copper's up 4.2%. So commodities up, bond yields are up too. The week ahead, a couple of things. There are the important things going to be on Friday, the jobs report, and how the numbers reflect with the influence of the tariffs. Is there hiring going on? Is the unemployment rate going up? So I think those things will be watched for. That's on Friday, and then there are the ADP and the other preliminary numbers that come out during the week as well. And then the ISM, the supply management numbers for both manufacturing and services, they're coming out early this week, and that'll be an indication of whether the strength of the overall economy. Amongst the earnings, there are some earnings that I think somewhat interesting. Lululemon amongst the retailers and the higher end retailers. Dollar Tree and Dollar General both report this week. I think that'll be interesting for both the consumer, but also have the tariffs increase prices of the goods that in the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and then Broadcom in the technology and chip area, they report too. So that'll be it for today. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on Wednesday. Please let me know of any questions, comments, suggestions. Thank you again. Goodbye.